No. All right, good evening, and thank you all so much for coming out and being with us this afternoon for our regularly scheduled county council meeting and public hearing. The first order of business is a public hearing for ordinance number 2026-01, an ordinance authorizing the lease of the box hangars and hangar 3 at the Williamsburg County Airport. I do want to go over some guidelines for our public hearing. The purpose of the public hearing is to obtain comments from the public regarding the specific subject matter listed on the agenda. Citizens who plan to speak are requested to sign in upon arrival prior to the start of the public hearing. The chairman will open the floor and ask that each speaker state his or her name and mailing address, including street, city, state, and zip code. Each speaker is limited to 3 minutes unless additional time is granted by the chairman. Those in attendance are asked to refrain from any disruptive behavior, including clapping or making noise of any kind. Anyone who disrupts the public hearing could be asked to leave. The chairman and members of county council are interested in gathering factual information related to the subject matter that will be discussed. All participants are asked to abide by these guidelines so the public hearing can proceed smoothly and allow everyone who wishes to speak the opportunity to do so. I will add that if there are a significant number of people who sign up for the public hearing, we will not end the public hearing at 6 p.m. We will continue the public hearing to give everyone their 3 minutes and their opportunity to speak. Otherwise, we will begin the council meeting at 6 p.m. All right. Is there a list?
You missed last council meeting?
All right. Again, the ordinance is, the public hearing is to discuss ordinance number 2026-01, an ordinance authorizing the lease of the box hangars and hangar 3 at the Williamsburg County Airport. First person, Nora White. I don't want to pronounce your name incorrectly. What is it?
This
again?
must be a school board.
Whitey?
Yes.
Nora Whitey.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you? Before I start, I just want to say that my comments are to make sure that everyone understands their rights, their First Amendment rights. And therefore, this is not about an ordinance, it's about open government. Okay, well, obviously, you already started my time. So I'm speaking tonight to place these concerns clearly on the public record so citizens understand their rights and this county understands what open government actually is supposed to require. I wanted to begin with something very clear. A process is not meaningful simply because a microphone is offered. If people are limited to a few minutes restricted to what the government chooses to put on the agenda, denied placement when they ask, and given no real chance to ask questions and get answers, that is not open participation. That
Ms.
is
Waukee,
controlled participation.
Excuse me, Ms. Waukee. Are your comments pertaining to the ordinance number 2026?
Like I stated before you started my time, sir, with
01.
respect, it's about open government and citizens' rights.
Okay, but that's not what the public hearing is.
So are
is
you
about.
refusing to allow my First Amendment right?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
Or because you're not letting me speak?
Continue on, Ms. Waukee.
Thank you, sir. So, if you want to backtrack my time, please. With respect.
Sure. That's fine.
I appreciate that.
Sure, absolutely.
So I will start again. I'm speaking tonight to place these concerns clearly on the public record so citizens understand their rights and this county understands what open government actually is supposed to require. I want to begin with something very clear. A process is not meaningful simply because a microphone is offered. If people are limited to a few minutes, restricted to what the government chooses to put on the agenda, denied placement when they ask, and given no real chance to ask questions and get answers, then that is not open participation. That is controlled participation. The First Amendment protects the right to speak and the right to petition the government. A hearing is not meaningful just because people are allowed to speak. It is meaningful only when people can understand what is happening and get answers in public. If they cannot happen in regular meetings, then there should be an open forum meeting for citizens to ask questions and get answers, period. Citizens also have the right to open government. That means the public has the right to understand how decisions are made about their land, taxes, and community. And that starts with the public record. Meeting minutes are supposed to include the substance of what was discussed and decided, not just titles and names. If the record does not show what actually happened, then the public does not know what the government actually did. And that is not transparency. Public records should not be so difficult to access that a person has to take time off work just to understand what is happening in their government. Public records are supposed to inform the public, not wear them out. Bless you. Cost is not a valid excuse for limiting access to public records availability online, especially in a county operating on a budget of over $20 million a year. Transparency is not optional. It is part of the cost of doing public business. A government that can fund its projects should also be able to fund transparency about these projects. Another major issue is transparency in how decisions are being brought forward. God bless you. When decisions are pushed forward under project code names, vague descriptions, and references to agreements that are not provided, that is not a lack of clarity, that is a lack of transparency. And it creates the appearance that agendas are being pushed through under the radar without the public fully understanding what is actually being approved. This becomes even more serious as when ordinances rely on major agreements that are not provided alongside them. The county has entered into joint industrial park agreements with other counties, including agreements with Florence County dated December 1st, 1998, and agreement with Berkeley County dated April 24th, 1995. They are foundational agreements. So the question is simple. Where are those agreements? The responsibility is not on the public to go search for them. The responsibility is on the county to provide them. And now we are past the point of process. The failure in transparency has already occurred, and this is not a question. Construction is underway, steel is in the ground, they have the authority to stop it, and they are choosing not to. And they are forcing these choices on communities to live with the laws of agricultural land, destruction of forests, and the contamination of our water and land that will follow. And I'm going to continue.
No, ma'am, that's your 3
I'm
minutes.
going to continue,
No,
sir.
ma'am, you're not. That's your 3 minutes. Thank you so much. Now, the next person that will come up, I think we have Ms. Lithonia.
Seriously not going to allow me to finish the last little bit that I had.
No, ma'am. You can't do that, ma'am. I'm sorry. No, ma'am, you cannot. No, ma'am. All right, the next person that will be up will be Ms. Cheryl Lane. Ms. Lane, do you plan to come up?
You're dead. Okay, so I'm going to continue, sir.
No, ma'am. No,
So
ma'am.
you're,
No,
once
ma'am.
again, you're denying my right to speak, my First
No, ma'am.
Amendment right.
I'm not denying.
You are. She gave me her minutes.
No, ma'am, she cannot do that. I'm sorry.
So
Miss Waikey, I'm sorry, but she cannot do that. I'm sorry. Okay?
I will make sure that's noted very well.
Yes, it's noted. Thank you so much. Ms. Bennett, would you like your 3 minutes? Okay, the next person that we have is Ms. Lithonia, Dr. Lithonia Bennett.
Good evening,
Good
council
evening.
members and community. I just want to take a moment to address the hangar situation. I previously talked to my district representative about some resources I was trying to bring to supplement what you guys were trying to do, but that was denied like any other thing that I tried to bring to the council. It was denied, ignored, etc. And so I wanted to take a moment to address the lawsuit that you guys decided you wanted to announce during open session on March the 2nd, and explain to the community why I had to take those actions. It says I will allow counsel to speak in reference to any other lawsuits because there are other lawsuits that are pending, but mine was the only one that was brought into open session. This was not my first choice to sue the council or the county or anyone. It was my last option. For months, I showed up in good faith. I asked questions, I followed procedure, I sought collaboration, not conflict. I raised concerns about due process, about the absence of a clear path for citizens to appeal decisions that affected our land, our homes, and our future. I asked for something simple, a fair system, a system that citizens can, where citizens can be heard, where decisions are transparent, and where accountability is not optional. I was ignored. I asked that everyday residents be given the same level of consideration as corporate and commercial interests, no more, no less, just equal footing in the decisions that shape our community. I was ignored. I submitted petitions, I drafted resolutions, I used every available channel to engage constructively, and still silence. When those petitions finally surfaced, there was no vote, no record, no explanation, just avoidance. I've asked for the council members to go on the record as to why they decided that what I was trying to bring for the community was not of enough substance for them to take a vote, and I have been ignored. This is not process. This is not transparency, and that is not acceptable. When citizens are shut out, when participation is discouraged, when voices are dismissed, it does not just impact one person, it undermines public trust in the entire system. This is about protected participation. It is about the fundamental right of citizens to engage with our government without being ignored, sidelined, or retaliated against. Government should not be something people have to fight to access. It should be something that works for them all. This action is about restoring balance. It is about ensuring that fairness is not selective, that transparency is not conditional, and that accountability is real. Because this is bigger than a
Hey,
lawsuit.
Dr. Bennett, that's your 3 minutes. Thank you
It's
so
whether
much.
people of the county
Dr.
truly
Bennett,
have
that's
a
your-
voice,
thank you
and I
so
think
much.
that they should.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you. Ms. Cheryl Lane? Dr. Cheryl Lane, excuse me. I'm sorry. Dr. Lane?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Testing. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. we
Everybody hear
you.
me?
Yes, ma'am.
You gonna back me up to 3 minutes? My name is Cheryl Lane from the Greeleyville community. My comments are about ordinance 2026-01, the hangar lease that is the subject of this public hearing. Every question I'm about to ask for county council consideration addresses transparency and the assurance of solid, sound financial responsibility surrounding this ordinance. These are some questions for you to ask yourself. Do you know the answers to these? What is the size of the hangars? How many hangars are a part of the lease agreement? Have these hangars ever been leased before? Is subletting a possibility? Has the Finance Committee brought forward a recommendation in minutes form? Were comparable analyses completed to see how other like-kind facilities, such as the hangars at Lake City Airport, how they set their fees and terms of use? Will those analyses be shared with the public tonight? Has the price been set for leasing? If yes, what is the price? I see that there's one copy of the proposed ordinance on the table, not nearly enough for 20 to 25 people. Will a third party be used in the leasing process, or will the county hold the lease and enforce it? What is the duration of the lease? Is this a renewable lease process or a prior lease? How will the county advertise for the lease of these hangars to the general public for equity? Who will maintain the insurance? Will the monies from this lease of the hangars go into the general fund or some other fund such as airport improvement? If these questions and issues surrounding proposed ordinance 2026-01 cannot be answered fully for the public tonight, then proceeding to a vote would raise serious transparency issues for the community. In addition, I request that the council share with the public a clear, viewpoint-neutral set of procedures showing how a citizen can be placed on the agenda to speak and or to make citizen public comments so that our constitutional right to freedom of speech is fully respected. And the reason, Mr. Washington, I bring that forward is because you know I've been trying to speak a lot on environmental issues in our community, and I have tried out of the last 2 months to speak at least 3 times, and so far I have not been placed on the agenda as a separate item. In addition, the agenda often changes at the top when it says citizen comments must be in writing, citizen comments must be provided 2 weeks ahead.
Okay,
and
Dr. Lane.
citizen comments must
Dr.
be
Lane.
approved
Dr.
by
Lane.
the chairperson.
Dr. Lane, that's your 3 minutes. Thank you so much for your comments as it relates to ordinance number 2026-01. All right, we also want to take this opportunity to thank all of the folks who offered their comments as it relates to 2026-01, ordinance number 2026-01, which is an ordinance authorizing the lease of the box hangars and Hangar 3 at the Williamsburg County Airport. At this time, we're going to begin our regularly scheduled county council meeting. And at this time, we're going to ask Councilwoman Hales if she would please lead us with the invocation this evening. Councilwoman Hales.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Let us pray. Gracious God, we ask for your Holy Spirit to be present with us as we begin this meeting tonight. Grant us wisdom and discernment as we consider the issues before us. Help us, O God, to weigh the facts carefully, consider all perspectives, and make decisions that are just, fair, and in the best interest of our citizens. We also ask that you bless each and every one of us that are here tonight. These and all other blessings we ask in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. God bless you. Thank you so much, Councilwoman Hales, for that beautiful invocation. Thank you. All right, minutes, regular county council minutes from Tuesday, February 17th, 2026. Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the February 17th, 2026 meeting with the necessary corrections?
So moved.
So we have a motion to approve. Is there a second? It's been moved and properly seconded. Are we ready for questions? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, please let the record reflect that the motion has been carried. All right, regular minutes from the regular county council minutes, the meeting, excuse me, from Monday, March 2nd, 2026. Regular county council minutes, Monday, March 2nd, 2026. Is there a motion to approve the minutes with the necessary corrections?
So moved.
So we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Are we ready for questions? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Please let the record reflect that the motion has been carried. Ordinances. First reading. There are no ordinances for first reading tonight. There are no ordinances for first reading tonight. Second reading. There are no ordinances for second reading tonight. There are no ordinances for second reading tonight. Third reading and adoption of ordinance number 2026-01. Again, third reading and adoption of ordinance number 2026-01, which is an ordinance authorizing the lease of the box hangars in Hangar 3 at the Williamsburg County Airport. Is there a motion to approve and adopt ordinance 2026-01?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
So we have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
So it's been moved and properly seconded. Are we ready for questions? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Please let the record reflect that ordinance number 2026-01 has been adopted. All right, other business. We have before us tonight Mr. Philip Westmoreland, who is with the South Carolina Solid Waste Section Manager for HDR, and he's here to give us an update concerning the Williamsburg County landfill. Before Mr. Westmoreland begins, I just want to share with the public that there were some questions that came up from some citizens as well as some of the council members about the potential expansion of our current landfill. And I thought it would be most appropriate to bring the company whom the county contracts with, to bring them here to answer those questions for the members of county council and for the public as well. Mr. Moreland and his company has been working with Williamsburg County as it relates to the landfill since, I believe, sometime in the mid-90s. And so he's very much familiar with the Williamsburg County landfill. We also have with us here tonight Mr. Antonio Hammond, who is the director of our local landfill, and he and his staff do an amazing job out there, and we're very thankful to them and very appreciative of the work that they do. At this time, we're going to turn things over to Mr. Westmoreland. Mr. Westmoreland, thank you for being with us this evening.
Yes, council members, thank you. County Supervisor, thank you for allowing me to be here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, my name is Philip Westmoreland. I'm with HDR. We're a solid waste engineering consulting company. I've been with HDR for 27 years, right out of school. My background is all landfill related, landfill permitting, design, construction across throughout the state of South Carolina for a lot of municipal governments like yourself. First, I wanted to just kind of go through a little bit of history of the landfill in Salters, as you can see on the screen there. Just want to kind of everyone kind of get grounded a little bit. So the whole property in Salters is about 142 acres. There is what was considered a Class 3 MSW, which is municipal solid waste, household garbage, if you will. That was 27.7 acres, and that closed in March of 2011. So that landfill does not take any household garbage. The only active landfill there now is the Class 2, which is called the Construction and Demolition Landfill. It is permitted through SCDS. You can see that permit number there. That landfill started in 1994 as 3.4 acres, very small little piece just to the side of the Class 3 landfill. In that picture there, the Class 3 landfill is at Grassy Hill in the back. That orange area that you see kind of in the more foreground is the current Class 2 C&D area. In 2016, we did a minor permit modification to raise the height by about 20 feet. And then again in 2018, we expanded it from the original 3.4 acres to another 3.4 acres. So currently it's 6.8 acres. So again, starting in 1994, and here it is 2026, so right at 30 years, landfill is still operational. What I want to talk about specifically is the potential expansion area, which is in the foreground there. That green area is about 11 acres. The current landfill has about 2 years of capacity remaining before it reaches its final elevations. So now is the time to begin moving forward with expanding the landfill, which is on the current landfill property. So the next slide here.
Can I get you to pause right there?
Yes.
So it's on the current tract of property that the county already owns?
Yes, that's my next slide here.
Okay, all right, very good.
So the purple line that you see there is the county property. The line in yellow, as I mentioned, is the closed Class 3, the MSW landfill. So over to the right of that, maybe I can zoom in a little bit if that would help you. That is what we're calling the active Class 2. That's the 6.8 acres that will reach capacity in about July to November of 2028, based on current disposal rate. The area that we would like to expand is that area in green, about 11 acres. And as you can see, that is still within the overall county-owned property. I'll kind of zoom out just a little bit. As most of you may know, located off Old Gapway Road, the main entrance here, there's a small convenience center here at the entrance. And then back in here's the scale house. And then some other materials that are collected are scrap metal and used tires. So I'll stop there for a minute if there's any initial questions.
So my question is with the closed area, can you explain you know, why that area was closed, and is there potential for it to open?
No, this area was what's called an unlined, doesn't have a bottom. It was constructed, I think, back in the, I don't remember the dates, but in the 70s, maybe in the 60s area, where it was just excavated out and just garbage was, put on the bare ground. So the regulations changed in the late 90s to require a plastic liner, a line system to collect the liquids from the garbage. As you know, from your garbage cans, there's liquids and things like that, and people put different things in their garbage. So to contain all that and to treat that through a wastewater treatment plant, as opposed to letting it go out into the soil and leach out. So that landfill cannot be reopened. It had to be closed by consent agreement that the county had with SC, it was DHEC at the time, but SCDS now.
Question. I have a question, Mr. Whistle. So again, would you please explain again the determining factor requiring the expansion from the 6.8 to the 10 acres? Again, would you explain that again, please?
So the capacity, is that what you're referring to? Right, so the capacity is, we're filling it, building a mound, and so the mound can only get to, so you can only build a mound so high till you run out of vertical space. So think about a pile of soil, right? You can only build a mound so tall. Very similar concepts. So this was with construction, demolition, debris.
In this expansion, how long until projected that we probably fill this up?
Right now, based on if your current disposal rate stays the same, which is around 6,000 tons per year, if it stays in that range, I mean, it could fluctuate, a little bit, maybe 500 or 600 tons one way or another, depending on the year, right around 50 years. So again, we're increasing it from 6.8 acres, we're adding 11 acres. The 6.8, as I said, lasted right about 30 years, so another 11 acres, you can kind of do the ratio. But if everything kind of stays the same, I imagine it will increase some, 2%, 3%, maybe. But if everything kind of stays the same, it could be 50 years.
So with the expansion, there will be a plastic liner and everything added to this actual site?
No, this particular landfill does not require a
Okay.
plastic liner. It is for construction demolition landfills currently in the state do not require that. Only
Okay,
the
just want to be clear.
household garbage, right. So this one just requires a soil base layer.
I wanted you to, if you could please, to maybe go over South Carolina's position as it relates to the building of new landfills and the requirements, and I guess you could call it, I guess, a moratorium, so to speak, on landfills because of how South Carolina created the law surrounding landfills here in South Carolina. Can you elaborate on that just a little bit?
Right, as a landfill reaches capacity, you have 1 year to relocate yourself, either expand within the property or locate it somewhere totally different. After that 1 year expires, then you lose that ability, you lose your permit.
Right.
And that's what happened with MSW, the household garbage landfill at that time.
And currently our MSW, which is household garbage, is transported out of the county. And that's for the benefit of those who don't know that. It's transported out of the county, and we pay companies to receive that garbage from us here in Williamsburg County. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mr. Westmoreland.
No, I'll just show you just for reference. This is the map of the state of all of the Class 2 or construction demolition landfills. You see those circles, the yellow that I highlighted there, that is the landfill there in Salters. I know it takes a little bit of time to get your eyes right on this, but those circles that are the radiuses from each of those sites. So it's over here is a 20 mile radius from each of those is the planning zone that was established by DES. So to kind of think about like the sphere of influence, if you will.
Right.
So you can see the whole state is covered. There's lots of landfills in the state, and that's part of the reason why they have that rule. That rule has not been challenged. I imagine as time goes on and landfills reach capacity, that that rule could be challenged or changed. As you can see, if you, alternatives would be to some of your surrounding neighbors, but again, hauling cost for construction and demolition landfill material is much greater because it's heavier.
Oh, in your professional opinion, could you tell us how much, in your opinion, tonnage has increased over the years, or have you seen a major increase? Can you, as it relates to tonnage that's being taken to landfills?
I can tell you specifically about Williamsburg County landfill. When it started in 1994, it was about 2,200 tons per year. And most recently, in the storms that came through the hurricanes from 2017 and 2018, 2019, that time frame, it jumped up to 8,000 tons per year. And currently, it's around 6,400 tons per year. That is relatively small compared to some of your neighboring counties, especially towards the coast, Horry County, Georgetown. They have receive a lot more just because of a lot more development going on there. So it's we're more populated, more growth areas have a lot of higher tonnage. And as you've seen here, from 2,000 tons per year to 30 years later, you're 3 times as much. Growth is coming, right? So having a construction demolition, as you can see, there's more construction demolition landfills throughout the state than there are the household garbage landfills, and that is because it's an asset that for the counties, as you're aware of the cost to haul it somewhere else. So I think you should do what you can to maintain the assets you have, and you have the real estate, that's area that I showed here, to expand within your property.
What's the length of time that it would take to actually get that permit in place and able to move forward? And is that something that we would be able to do before our current space is taken up?
It's going to be about 2 years to go through the permitting process and to do some site grading to prepare the subgrade for that. So we're kind of at the line that need to make a decision. And so many of you may know that we've made that initial, there's 3 steps. The first one is to send out a notice to the surrounding landowners that we would like, or the county would like to proceed with siting this landfill, and just provide some of the basic things that is within the current property, show the buffers, the required regulatory buffers around the site that is zoned correctly. So some of the very basic site suitability, that's step 1. And that notice has been mailed out to the residents. The next step is to do a site suitability, which is subgrade, the soil investigation, any other site restrictions, which are required by the state. And then if there's no issues there for site restrictions, then we move forward with preparing a permit application, which is a detailed design of grading plans, environmental monitoring, things like that. So it'll take the state about 6 or 8 months to review that. And so again, that's where we're getting close to for them to review it, and then to do the site subgrade grading prep for that before the first truck could dispose there.
This question may be for the supervisor, but how would this project be funded?
Well, we're already funding it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's already being funded. Yes, sir.
So I guess as a follow-up question for me, So what's the estimated of the total cost of the landfill expansion project?
That I do not know. That would be determined by the site suitability that we need to work through and the more detailed engineering design of the grading plan that is required for that. So this is going to be mostly a civil grading plan. We'll grade it and bring some soil in to level it out, smooth it out, and things like that. So that's the major cost there. Again, we don't have the plastic liner or pipes or any of those other things. It's more of just a civil site project. The trees are already removed. The site is generally in good shape.
And I think a lot of this work we pretty much have already done already with our own existing employees and existing equipment. So a lot of the work has already been done.
Yeah, currently, there's not, what we found is there's no reason not to move in this area, just from the preliminary reviews that we've done for site suitability and things like that.
So there would be no financial responsibility to the taxpayers of the county? Is that what I'm hearing?
We already have the financial responsibility because we're already doing it. So a lot of the work, as I said earlier, is being done by our existing personnel using existing equipment. So there should not be an additional burden on the taxpayers. The one question that I did ask that earlier, and we'll probably discuss this during the budget work session, is I do want to make sure that we're clear and that we do fully understand that tonnage for trash, the trash that we haul out, that has increased over the years. And so we want to make sure that you all are that everyone knows that, not only council knows that, but that the public knows that as well. And as he indicated earlier, as these MSW sites begin to fill up, what's going to end up happening is these folks who are receiving this MSW waste or household garbage, as their sites begin to fill up, their costs are going to start going up. And as their costs are going to go up, that's going to be a cost to us because remember, we have to transport this trash, the household garbage, out of the county. And so as those costs go up, there's going to be a cost, an additional cost, an increase in cost to us as well. But we're working as you all are aware, we're going through the budget process now, and I'll be able to get you guys some better numbers during this process. But that is something that we're going to have to look at, if not this budget year, next year for certain. But we're going to have to look at that because those costs have been increasing.
Yeah, it's very similar to supply and demand curves, right?
Yes,
You're
sir.
supplying the waste, the demand is to find a disposal location for it.
And I was gonna ask Supervisor, when was the last time we increased that fee for hauling?
We have not.
Not since we
I
initially.
don't think we have.
I think we went up one time.
One time maybe?
I think we did.
Okay, we'll double check. I'll get a definite answer for you. Anybody with any other questions for Mr. Westmoreland? I want to.
I have one more
Oh, I'm
question. before
sorry.
he
Go
goes.
ahead.
I have
No,
one
no,
more
go
question.
ahead.
So how will this expansion at all affect the property value for the residents living there, Gateway Road?
I can't speak to that. I'm not a real estate person or appraiser, so I can't speak to that.
I'm done.
Any other member of council with any other questions for Mr. Westmoreland? Well, Mr. Westmoreland, I want to thank you and HDR for the wonderful work that you guys have been doing for us, certainly guiding us through this process over the last several years, and we look forward to continued success. I would like to say to the members of council that when I called him and asked him would he come, and meet and just answer questions from you all. He did not hesitate. There were other clients in the area that he wanted to go and see as well, and he was able to accommodate us to come here and be with us tonight because he actually works out of Charlotte, I think it is.
Right, that's where.
Yeah,
I'm
his,
from,
his main office is in Charlotte.
I spend a lot of time throughout the state, through
That's right.
Columbia to Greenville to here, so
Yes.
no problem at all.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Westmoreland. Thank you. All right. Appearances. Ms. Tracy Presley, CMD Pantry. Ms. Tracy Presley, CMD Pantry. Okay. Ms. Cassandra Rush, CEO, business owner, Museum of African American Arts and Culture. Ms. Rush. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. And hello to council, supervisor, and council members. Thanks for this opportunity to talk to you about the upcoming 60th anniversary of Dr. King's May 8th, 1966 speech at the Tomlinson Athletic Field that occurred back on May 8th of 1966 when I was a 16-year-old senior at Tomlinson. We are about to do a 60th, which will be May 8th and 9th of this year. Back in 1966, Congressman Clyburn attended. He came back in 2016 for the 50th, and we are in conversation with him, and I heard he had a meeting and mentioned that he plans to be here for this event as well. So we are inviting all of you to please attend. We'll certainly ask you to stand that particular day. And Supervisor, when I was looking through the pictures from 16, we had the then supervisor to say a few words. We really don't plan to have a speaker per se. We want to get comments from many of our honored guests, is the way we're going to do that. May 8th is a Friday. We plan to do festivities all day at the Tomlinson Athletic Field. We are planning to, we've asked Dr. Donaldson from the Civil Rights Center of Research at the University of South Carolina to do an exhibition and to be in attendance. He and his people will be there on Friday, but unfortunately will not be there on Saturday. We are hoping to get the school kids in on Friday. We're still working on that with the superintendent because we feel as though at this point in time in our history, it is of utmost importance to ensure that these kids know their history and even know about Dr. King. I think it has evolved over the generations such that a lot of these students have never heard of Dr. King, and a lot of people are not even aware that Dr. King came to King Street, and there's a history associated with that as well. That Saturday, we decided to have an event. Well, let me go back to Friday. The students, we're hoping they'll be there from like 10 till 2, and we'll have other vendors. We asked the library to be there. We're bringing in the voter registration office from here to bring a ballot box, the voting machines, register people to vote, to try to get the high school seniors there to get those registered that aren't. So it'll be a day of activities and exposure for the school children and the public. And our program is scheduled to be held from 4 to 6 p.m. Now, on Saturday, we decided to do two things over at the rec center. The multi-purpose room will be open that day for a civil rights exhibition. We were hoping Dr. Donaldson and his crew would be able to do that, but that's USC's graduation day, so we are getting one of my former students who's a librarian at the Georgetown Library to bring in the exhibition she did for Dr. King's birthday back in January, and we're adding to that. So there'll be a civil rights exhibition with a concentration on Williamsburg County that Saturday at the multipurpose room at the rec. And for that evening, please, all of you are invited. It's going to be an evening you've never experienced before, and I doubt will ever be experienced again in your lifetime. We are doing a presidential gala. I'm sure all of you, if you've ever talked to me, I've told you how we have 4 HBCU presidents that were born, reared, and educated here in Williamsburg County. And there are an additional 5 HBCU presidents that have direct ties to Williamsburg County. 3 of them have spouses from Williamsburg County, and the 2 others picked cotton and put in tobacco here and have family here. So it's going to be an evening where we are recognizing and honoring our HBCU presidents, because like I said, I don't think there's another place in this nation that has that claim to fame, so we certainly want to do that. That event will be from 5 until 9, Saturday night, since it is Mother's Day weekend, and the tickets are supposed to be going on sale at $100 each. So please come out and share and talk with our HBCU presidents. We've also talked with Congressman Clyburn about the possibility of doing a book signing. I think he either has a second or third book. And then I've also talked with Dr. Tisdale, former president of Claflin University, about doing a book signing. So I'm trying to find out if the other presidents have books, and we'll have book signings probably that Saturday during that 1 to 5 time frame. So we were asking for your sponsorship, please, so that we can make this event a success. And looking forward to seeing all of you there. Tam, I don't remember whether I've shared this with all the council members. Do you know? Okay, well, I'll have to do that at another time. I created an African-American tour guide for Kingstree and Williamsburg County. So I will share, I'll get that to Tammy to get to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do any of the members of council have any questions for Ms. Rush? Anyone with any questions for Ms. Rush? Ms. Rush, thank you so much for being with us, and thank you for all that you do here in the community. All right, there is no executive session tonight. Are there any reports from any of the members of council? Any reports from any of the members of council? Any reports from any of the members of council? All right, there is no report from the county supervisor's office tonight. There is no report from the county supervisor's office tonight. Is there a motion to adjourn? So we have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, it's been moved and properly seconded. Are we ready for questions? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, we are adjourned. The next meeting the 6th, 2026 at 6 p.m. We certainly want to thank all of you all who took time out of your busy schedules to be with us tonight. And we pray that you guys have safe travels on your way home. And we also want to thank those who have watched on our Facebook page or either our county website. Again, thank you all and God bless you.